He's heating up.
Michael Jordan was trash without Scottie Pippen. It sounds like a crazy and outlandish thing to say, but let's dive into the idea and find out where we end up at. Nick Wright from FS1 just recently said that Michael Jordan and his time as tenure of the Charlotte Hornets owner is very reminiscent of his years in the NBA without Scottie Pippen. Now, Michael Jordan just sold his majority stake in ownership of the Charlotte Hornets for $2.725 billion after initially investing $275 million. Sold his majority stake, now he is a minority owner. And I said in another video, 75-25. 75% was Jordan not being a good owner as far as draft picks and making trades and signing free agents go. And then the other 25%, those drafts were just trash majority of the time. But Michael Jordan played 5 total seasons without Scottie Pippen. 2 of those years was in Washington. 3 of those years was in Chicago. Let's dive into it. Year 1. There were 3 players on that Bulls team that shot 14 field goals or more a game. Michael Jordan led with 19. He led in points, assists, rebounds, minutes, steals, and he shot 52% from the field. They had an 11-game win improvement from the previous season. It did not take long for him to establish himself as the guy on that team, winning Rookie of the Year. But to do so averaging 28.2 points per game, that is unheard of. But again, Scottie Pippen was not on that roster. Year 2, he broke his foot this season, only played 18 games, started 7 in those games, and he had to fight with ownership, with management, with the coaching staff just to be on the court because they were trying so hard just to end up in the lottery. Michael Jordan was not about losing. He was not about losing on purpose just to get draft picks. Every time he stepped on the court, he wanted to win. They get into the playoffs. He goes against the greatest team in NBA history at that time, the Boston Celtics, 85-86, 5 Hall of Famers, Bill Walton, Dennis Johnson, Larry Bird, Robert Parrish, Kevin McHale, and then you add in Danny Ainge, who is giving you 15 to 18 points a game. Drops 41 a game, 63 points in one game, in which Larry Bird says that was God disguised as Michael Jordan. Now, you can take Nick Wright's word for it, or you can take Larry Bird's. I'll let you be the judge of that. Year 3, they trade and get rid of and let walk away all of their assets. Michael has no more scoring options. Remember, I told you the first year, there were 3 players that shot 14 or more field goals. All of those individuals except Michael Jordan were gone. Michael Jordan says, I'm just going to give you 37 points a night, 5 rebounds, and 5 assists every single night. After that season, Scottie Pippen gets drafted. Scottie Pippen in his first season averages a whopping 8 points a game, 20 minutes a night, and comes off the bench. Never started a single game in his rookie season. But if you look at the flip side, Michael Jordan wins MVP, Defensive Player of the Year. He was scoring champ, steals champ, led the league in minutes. He was 19th in assists per game. He is the only top 20 scorer in the top 20 assists that season, and they also won 50 games that year. The following season, Scottie Pippen is moved into the starting lineup. When Scottie became a full-time starter, Jordan went from 35 points, 5 rebounds, and 5 assists to 32 points, 8 rebounds, and 8 assists. On top of the fact that he was still extremely efficient scoring, 31 points, 6 rebounds, 5 assists on 50% shooting in the seasons before Scottie Pippen was drafted. So I'm not understanding the idea that Michael Jordan was so absolutely terrible in all of these years without Scottie Pippen. And everybody loves to point out that Michael Jordan was in Washington. And they say, oh, you don't want to talk about the Washington years. Well, let's talk about the fact that this man averaged 22 points, 5 rebounds and 5 assists one season, and averaged 20 points in his last season in the league, playing all 82 games at one point in Washington, and also receiving MVP votes. A washed up Michael Jordan in Washington was receiving MVP votes. Notice that Scottie Pippen was not on that roster. It's okay to be a fan and think that Michael or LeBron or Kareem is your GOAT, but to pretend and act like these players aren't 3 of some of the greatest individuals we've ever seen step on the court at any point in their career is absolute delusion. Give this video a like, subscribe to the channel. That's one more for the good guys.
He's eating